Right, it's time for our impressions for today. Today I really want to talk about something that I think is important for many people in South Africa, and something that was highlighted in DJ Spoo's interview. And I'm calling today, today's impression, your past is not your future. And really 4 points to talk about here. Your past is not your future. So the first thing you have to realize is before we even start on the 4 points is that how big an influence your past does have on your future if you allow it. And what I'm saying to you in this impression slot is that it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad influence. If you've come from a particularly bad past, it doesn't mean that your future needs to be bad. If you come from a poor past, it doesn't mean that your future needs to be poor. If you come from a past that's devoid of all the things that you want, it doesn't mean your future has to be the same. So first thing, number one, is have a vision of what you want. Be very clear about what you want. Now, I know in the beginning, many entrepreneurs battle with this, but it's very important for us to understand what it is we actually want. Number two is believe it. And believe it in two regards. Believe it that you can achieve it. That's the one part, and that's quite cliched. But more important for me is believe that you are able to disconnect your past from your future where required. So not all your past might be bad. Only some parts of your past might be bad. It might be that you learned certain myths, etc., from your parents, from your community, that aren't necessarily true. Perhaps your parents or your uncle or your aunt said, you will never amount to anything. Don't believe that. You have the ability to disconnect. Which brings me to my third point, is identify what thoughts and myths, and I underline the word myths, what thoughts and myths of your past are affecting your current paradigm, your current thinking about your future. It's very important to sit down and actually think about, well, I learned that from my father, I learned that from my mother, this is good, this is not so good, that doesn't serve me, this does serve me. So start to identify all the thinking, all the myths that don't serve you, and believe that you can separate the two. But identify those myths. Which brings me to my last point, which is once you have started to become self-aware about not bringing that past into the future, is that from time to time you're going to regress into making the same mistakes about thinking in that way. And just be kind to yourself and correct yourself when you fall down. Well,